hope you're doing well. I am right near my window, so if you hear a little bit of noise, I do apologize for that. I can't account for traffic outside my door, but we are at the last day of the calendar year, so it's 123, 123. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but numerologically speaking, it's kind of a big deal. When you're talking about the sequence of having numbers that repeat like that, it's usually compounding a vibration, right? So we'll talk about that a little bit later. For those of you who do not know me, nice to meet you. I am ChosenEyes, also known as Dr. L by some people. I am a professional psychic medium, tarot reader, scryer, which we will get into here in a moment, who also happens to be a doctor of acupuncture and Eastern medicine. My job is to train the next generation of unlikely healers such as myself, and to do so with compassion and to empower with love and offering what I got. So, welcome to my side of the multiverse. For those of you who have been rocking with me for a minute, thank you so much. Many of you have asked me to do a YouTube live of some sort. And for new viewers, I am actually painfully shy. So this is something that is very new to me, but I'm excited to get started in a new direction, ending one chapter of kind of hiding and stepping in and embracing a new chapter moving forward. So for those of you who are wondering what in the world we're doing today, we're talking about 2024 predictions. I'm going to use a tool that not very many people use nowadays as a form of divination, which is a water bowl for scrying. Okay, and I will explain my process with that here in a bit. I will also kind of clarify during our time together with tarot cards and oracle cards and gemstone allies. For my Patreon people, I invited you all to ask me questions that I will answer for you all right here online, which I will do once we get started. If there is any time a little bit later in the reading, I will definitely open it up for everybody else to do so. Or if I'm not able to do so, by all means, let me know and I will make sure to circle back with you in the comments, okay? That being said, let's talk about the theme for 2024. When I was preparing with everything, the first thing that I heard was your glow up is your responsibility. So I'll say it again. Your glow up is your responsibility. So what do I mean by that? Your ability to implement everything that you've learned about yourself, about the world, about how you choose to show up for yourself and not show up for others. 2023 and even further back, right? But 2023 in particular was a year that showed all of us where our blueprint needed to kind of be adjusted and how we needed to show up for ourselves a little bit more and a little bit less for others. And it showed you that if you leaned into it, it was a lot easier for you to focus on yourself, to accomplish some of your goals that you have for yourself, and to see yourself a little bit more clearly and incorporate yourself into your personal equation. Sometimes we have a tendency to give and give and give and pour ourselves into codependent relationships, codependent habits, right? Sometimes we have a tendency to overlook ourselves because we want to make sure everybody else or everything else is accounted for. 2023 was a year that showed you that you can't keep operating like that. So as you move into 2024, now that you have those tools from 2023, it's your responsibility to make sure that you've been a good steward of those seeds that you were given in 2023 in order for them to start flourishing and really thriving in 2024. I feel like we've all started to see the fruits of our harvest later in the year, although it was a bit haphazard and crazy. But we're moving into a different direction now, so your globe is your responsibility, right? It's not your job to make sure somebody else is moving up and beyond. It's not your job to make sure that everybody else around you is satiated or happy or that they have what they feel that they need. It's your job to assist should you feel that your skill sets are warranted in that moment. It's your job to discern whether or not you are actually of help or hindrance to that situation. It's not your job to make sure that they glow up completely. Okay? Essentially, play your part. So that being said, one of the Patreon questions that I want to dive into was actually what are some really good plant allies and gemstone allies for 2024 as far as working. Um, I will say this before I jump into that really quickly because it ties into this question. Today is the day where you all should be cleaning things out. One of the first things that I'd like to do on December 31st is to strip all the linen in my house, wash all the towels, wash all the sheets, um, clean the kitchen, because make sure that you're tying up all loose ends for the year, for the calendar year, because you don't want to take those same dreams or mindsets that you lay your head on your pillow with, right, at night, those same worries, into the next year with you. So I like to wash my sheets in a little bit of sea salt, maybe about half a cup. Yes, this is okay for high efficiency washing machines. I have one. I like to use that, a little bit of baking soda, and just a small amount of whatever essential oil you like. I personally like to use a little bit of sweet basil or lemon, or sometimes lemon verbena. Whatever is going to be calming and soothing for you when you lay your head down, right, is what you want to use. Also, when you put your sheets in the dryer, and same thing for your towels, consider using a little bit of lavender essential oil on your dryer sheets or on an actual towel. Or if you use dryer balls, you can actually anoint the dryer balls with the essential oils too. Lavender oil not only helps calm and soothe if you're not allergic to it, it's also really good for making sure that it cuts down on microbial growth, right? So it's antibacterial, antimicrobial. So there's some health benefits there too. So that being said, let's start with the herbal allies. One of the things that I like, and I'm going to keep it in here because I don't want to start sneezing uncontrollably. This is red pepper, right? So after you swept out of your house, right, you start from the furthest point back and then you go toward the front door in order to sweep out your house, right? And do any type of dispersal, energetic magic. You've done all that, right? I like to do a floor wash, or if you don't have carpet, you can do this with your carpet too. You'll sprinkle some of this on your carpet, and then you'll, with some baking soda and sea salt, and vacuum it up. And while you're doing that, say whatever prayers, mantras, if you read from the book of Psalms, but whatever prayers, incantations that you use when it comes to clearing and purging, start saying those as you migrate your way out. Why do you use this? Oh, you all add this to some water or your Swiffer, right? In order to do the same thing on hardwood floors or tile. But why do we do this? We do this because red pepper keeps the bullshit out. It keeps all the grossness away. It helps make sure that you are getting all the gunk and all the icky energy that kind of tends to get stuck out. It's a catalyst, right? It's think about when something's hot, you touch it and you want to get away, right? So anything that's negative or that's not necessarily for your greater good, energetically, when it comes into the frequency of red pepper, is like, gotta get away, because it repels it. The other thing too is I like to sprinkle it at my doorstep because it makes sure that only the right people are coming over my threshold. It's a really great BS detector, so consider that too. I also noticed that in a weird way, it makes people think a little bit more before they speak. I've noticed that in utilizing it in my own home, that because we're very spirited in my household, but in utilizing it, especially a lot more lately, I haven't really had too many issues with people popping off at the mouth and flying and saying things that are crazy. So just keep that in mind. To that point, the next thing would be bay leaves, also known as bay laurel, sweet bay. But I love these because they help with calming tempers, right? Soothing tensions, especially between lovers and family. This is a time of the year where energies are high. Everybody's been around their family of choosing or of birth. And yeah, a lot comes up during this time of year. So utilizing bay leaves in cooking for a lot of dishes during this time of year is no coincidence. Okay. I personally use bay leaves in collard greens. I use bay leaves in some other soups and stews that I make during this time of the year. I consider it to be one of my favorite plant allies because it's so easily accessible. Do you have to order it online? No, you can use your bay leaf um, that you get in the grocery section. Same thing for your red pepper. And that's the other thing. Most of the things that we use as plant allies are easily accessible. Okay, magic does not have to be something that is not easily accessible to you. The other thing that I love about bay leaves is that they keep bugs away, right? So if you got people who are bugging you, right, you can add it into like a little sachet or a little piece of cloth, right? Keep it on you to keep worrisome coworkers away. You can, if you got crazy neighbors, you can add some bay leaf to some red powder. Put that at your doorstep too. That keeps them away. I had a psycho one during the pandemic. Worked like a charm. Okay. Last but not least, if I can open this jar, is my absolute fave that I'm personally taking right now, and that's hibiscus. Right. These leaves are a little bit smaller because they've kind of gotten crunched up, but I really like hibiscus because one is highly concentrated and packed, right, with vitamin C. During this time of the year, cold and flu season, vitamin C is your bestie, okay? It also helps cut down on inflammation. So for those of us who are menstruating humans, this is a really great ally for you to work with in terms of lessening your cramps. Tip that I learned from my sissy. Hey, sissy. And it's also really great for helping with hormone regulation in some instances too. It's really great for not only your womb, but it's also great for cardiovascular health, as it helps to lower blood pressure in some instances, and it also helps promote circulation. So small amounts, especially if you are taking a blood thinner, just putting that out there. Not recommending, merely letting you know what you can Google, because I am not your doctor, even though I am a doctor. Okay. That being said, the next thing was the gemstone allies. One of my favorite ones that I'm recommending for 2024, lepidolite. Okay, so this one is more of a flaked form of it. I don't have one of my tumbled ones, but this is a little bit more raw. But it's purple and white, right? And what's really great about lepidolite is that it's a stone that helps you ease into change. 2023 was a year that I feel kind of like forced us into change because we haphazardly had to see and assess ourselves and the world as we orient to it in a very jarring way. 2024 with working with lepidolite will allow you to, like I said, implement what you've had to like navigate in 2023 and bring changes in a way that makes sense to you, how your brain works, how your body operates, how your emotional sphere can show up, like being more authentic and more honest in how you need to change in order to adapt to yourself, right? You've grown. So it's helping you orient to your changes, but also helping you kind of soothe tensions as the world around you shifts because you've shifted. I hope that makes sense, right? Because when you change, the world around you has to either change in order to continue to be a part of you, or it's still going to change in that it's going to move away from you. So this will just help you navigate change and still hold on to your sense of self. So lepidolite, there you go. Next one, you can never go wrong with a really great smoky quartz. And especially because we are in Capricorn season, smoky quartz is a stone that is linked with Capricorn. Smoky quartz helps you cut through BS. It helps you demystify. It helps you essentially see through the smoke, right? I don't know if you've ever spoken to a Capricorn, but Capricorns are really great at getting to the point. So when you are trying to make sure that your moral compass is in line with someone else's moral compass, or that there's an alignment between you and what is being asked of you, smoky quartz is one of my favorite allies. Okay, it's a smoke screen. It's like cut through the smoke. What are we looking at? What are we dealing with? What's really happening? And while you are doing that, it is also really great at banishing negativity. It's amazing at helping you to stand firm in your truth. And I also like it when, even though this is slightly more unorthodox as of a use for it, but that's me. I like it when I'm doing any form of ancestral communication. Why? Because it's also a very grounding stone for me, and it helps me to trust my inner voice. It helps me to trust that what I'm receiving as a message is truly the message I'm receiving, right? So that BS that I was talking about is really more my own inner chatter of ego saying, are you sure this is what you're hearing? Are you sure you're right? Da, da, da. Right? We all go through that. So this is a really great stone to kind of help you be like, no, dingbat, this is what you're actually hearing. This is what you're experiencing. Stop gaslighting yourself. Okay? What's another one? Ooh, one of my faves. Jasper. Jasper is amazing. Amazing for the root chakra. It's so grounding, right? This one, although it's blue, and then this one is, you can see, got different colors happening in here, right? These two are Moroccan jasper stones, which I learned the story behind these. These are actually really smooth like this because they're used to polish the homes, the exterior of the homes in Morocco, right? So it's really kind of cool. But jasper in and of itself works with the root chakra. It's amazing at helping to keep you grounded. It helps you to navigate feelings of insecurity. If you're trying to overcome scarcity or lack mentality, great ally to work with. And it's really great when you're doing any work that involves like earth magic, right? So wanting to call in like material wealth. If you're looking to purchase a new home, if you're looking to get into real estate as a profession, if you are looking into gardening, anything where you need to be anchored and resolute. And if you're noticing a theme with me talking about being anchored and resolute, yes, because 2024 is that year where if you're going to make sure that you're taking on the responsibility of glowing up and moving up and ascending into your actual role and like really taking on your purpose, you got to be able to stand firm, because a lot of the things that we're all being called to do are things that haven't been done. A lot of us are forging new paths. We are breaking ground. This is a year of breaking barriers. This is a year of, I literally see like an ox with a plow just plowing through it, right? Not in the sense of being part of burnout culture, but from the stance of, this is my row to hoe, okay? Not you meaning garden tool, all right? This is my row to plow. This is what I'm supposed to do, and being resilient and stubborn in our approach to it, because we have a strong enough sense of self and knowing this is what we're here to do. That being said, one of my other faves, Labradorite, cousin to Rainbow Moonstone. See that flash? Right? It's also known as the Merlin stone. This is the stone of magic. This is the stone that reminds you that you are magic and magic is you. This helps you to unlock a lot of your inner gifts, your higher calling, your higher purpose. The other reason I love this stone is because when I'm doing any type of spell work and I need to unlock that for somebody else to remind them that they are a baddie and they're amazing, I couple this stone with the Magician tarot card, because it helps you to transmute and alchemize your own potential, right? To level it up, to move forward, do whatever you need to do. So, you can always get away with a really great piece of salt. Salt goes a long way. Salt is, to me, a gemstone ally. It's a mineral. I love it because it naturally cleanses itself and it purifies anything that it comes in contact with. You can keep a chunk of pink Himalayan sea salt, right, in your pocket. I recommend keeping it in your left pocket, right? Just cleanses and purifies all day long, right? You get a little anxious and you need to get rid of like somebody else's funky energy. Perfect stress toy, all right? Okay, this really is the last one. Rutilated quartz, right? And so the rutiles mean those little striations or little lines that you see in there. And this is one of my favorite pieces I've had since I was in medical school. So the reason I love this is because it's called the lightning stone. When you carry this stone, two things happen. One, you're inviting serendipity, right? People think about lightning striking and, being like this flash in the pan. No, lightning is actually a very calculated force. Before you see the lightning bolt hit the ground, it has already sent this, like a little electron kind of thing, down to charter the course. And then the lightning charge follows that, right? So it's calculated chaos, right? It's being able to own that you know when to strike and seize opportunity. It is also a very healing stone. This is a stone that heals healers. So if you too are somebody who's a healer, an energy worker, a light worker, reader, healthcare professional, a teacher, anybody who's healing or doing anything that involves emotional output, here you go. Perfect stone to keep on hand. I used to keep this on me when I was in clinic, and it helped me a lot. It helps with memory, it helps with stamina, it helps with endurance. All right. I hope that answered your question, my love. Thank you for participating. Next, shall we dive into a little scrying and explain how this works? Perfect. Let's do it. So, here is my bowl. It's a bowl of water. Yay! And so when people come to me and they have readings with me, I have this bowl of water. If they're not in person, which most people do, have sessions with me remotely, right? Via Zoom, Skype, all the things. And if you're interested in having a session with me, by all means, click the link in the description. I am having an end of year sale right now. You can use those codes to book into January or beyond in 2024. You don't have to book today. You don't have to book a session for today. You can use the codes today in order to book something in 2024. Several people have, so by all means. But I have this salt in my hand, and I am going to place it in my right hand because that's my giving hand. So the point is that this salt is going to act as a catalyst for me, meaning something that's going to start a reaction, an enzyme, right? But it's also going to open the portal between the spirit world and me. So that way I can utilize this bowl of water as a door or a portal or a window in order to see deeper into much more distant future, and if need be, reach back in distant past. It also opens the door for some ascended masters to come through if need be. It also allows me to look into past life traumas, whole life integration, where we kind of navigate all sectors of your incarnation in this particular time, space, frequency. Have any questions? Talk to me about that later. But for right now, I'm going to put a little bit more salt because there's a lot of you on here. Thanks. Happy that y'all are rocking with me. And when y'all are ready, I will energetically place this salt. Well, not energetically, actually place this salt in the water, and I will start reading. I will first start with a generalized reading and give you everything that I get that comes up. And then I will clarify some points that may not make sense to me utilizing the cards. Okay? So you got 5 seconds to put any questions, any comments, any concerns in this here salt. Imagine it energetically flowing into my hand. All right, let's do it. What's really cool is I've been scrying since I was a teenager. And I have yet to see any pattern more than once. Like, no pattern is ever duplicated. That is like the coolest thing to me. All right, let's see what's going on with y'all. Stability and fortitude. Stability and fortitude. Stay in the course. You've learned all these things about yourself in 2023. Now can you implement them in order for you to stay the course? Can you do so blindly? Can you do so jealously? And blindly, I'm going to do air quotes around that. Why? Because it's not that you're blind. It's like that lightning strike that I mentioned, right? It's seemingly blind, but you are calculating. You know where your course. You know how to charter it. You've already chartered it, right? You've already, right? but nobody else really saw it unless they were truly paying attention to you, because you were paying attention to everything that you were getting this year. 2024 is, can you put on the blinders, tune out the naysayers, including your own inner naysayer that may not believe that it's for you to have something this grand. This is going to be a year of you shutting up your own ego and breaking your own boundaries, stepping into a huge sense of fulfillment. And I don't know why, but I'm being told very, very strongly that this has to do with cardinal signs in particular. So that's Cancer, Aries, Capricorn, and Libra. This is a year for you all to really own what it means for you to feel fulfilled and to really sink into that. It truly is. This is a year of you, like, y'all are about to do some big things. For those of you who are artists, this is going to be a huge year when it comes to you actually like feeling fulfilled and liking your art again. I don't know what that means, but I hope that works out. If you're not an artist, whatever it is that you are creating or co-creating, this is an opportunity for you to really sit in and say, you know what, I'm proud of that, right? But here's the kick. For some of y'all, especially Libra, I'm feeling like this is more of you all sitting back and producing art through others, right? So it's like either you're coaching, like if you have a coaching brand and you're coaching people, this is your opportunity to be like, yep, those are my students. I did that, and then move off quietly into the sunset, because your plan is to not necessarily be the face. Your visibility is in how many people are carrying your message, right? Or if you're in music and you're producing people and you're not actually being the artist as much as you used to be. Taurus, I keep hearing for you all, this has a lot more to do with where you all are like feeling more fulfilled and where you choose to nest and ground. So your home environment has a lot more to do with that for you, even though Taurus is a fixed sign. We're gonna get to y'all later. All right. But I felt that very strongly for those individuals, that message. Moving in that same vein, I'll move on to fixed signs. Actually, no, apologies. They're making me go to air signs in particular. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. No, it's not because I'm an Aquarius. This is literally where I'm being taken to go. This is a time for you to put up or shut up. In the sense of you have been cooking up and revising the recipe for so long that now you have to realize that the only thing that's tried and true in this recipe is you. You can remix it however you want. You can show up however you want to. You can elongate it. You can modify it, whatever you need to do. But the only constant in this recipe, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, is you. So the question is, are you actually going to show up and start cooking? Right? It doesn't have to be perfect, because no new recipe on a menu is supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be tasty. Ooh. So whatever that means to y'all, just, it's supposed to be tasty. It doesn't have to be perfect. I keep hearing consumable, meaning that inner perfectionist streak that air signs typically have. It's not about, is it perfect to you? Is it consumable for the people who need to hear it? And I don't mean to call people consumers in that way, right, with a negative connotation, but it is very much like what you view as imperfect is actually food for the soul and nourishment for somebody else. So you need to actually lean into that and just put it out there, even though it feels haphazard, even though you feel like you're tripping over your own 2 feet, even though you feel like, this is romantically too, even though it may feel strange and you feel like you're coming out of hiding, this is what you need to be doing. Put it out there. If it comes to you, put it out there. And yes, whatever business opportunities you feel like you need to create for yourself this year, this is absolutely the opportune time for you to do it. There's nothing stopping you but you. You will have you'll have the resources and the financial institutional backing that you need in order to move forward. And I feel like for quite a few air signs, that has been a barrier to entry, is not having a lack of capital. But for whatever reason, it's opening up 2024 by spring. All right. Fire signs. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I keep hearing this is you going back to the drawing board, but it's going back to the drawing board on your terms. Literally drawing. I keep seeing an easel. I keep seeing I'm seeing very clearly for Sag in particular, this is you going back and revising lesson plans or manuscripts that you've written. For Aries, this is you. I know an Aries who's a collage artist, so I think this is for them. This is you going back and revisiting like color gradients or like dimensions, like depth, exploring what depth looks like in your artwork. Um, Leo, this has everything to do with like your purpose. Is that like revising your purpose? Like, if this is what I'm doing right now, that's fine, but it doesn't have to be my purpose. I just needed to get me to the next step, right? So it's back to the drawing board, but it's not because you're not moving backwards and going to the back to the drawing board. What you're doing is you're moving ahead, right? Because in going back to the drawing board, I just see you all, you're back in front of this easel and you're like, oh, don't like that. Nope, don't like that. It's like you immediately identified the issues, and then you know exactly what you need to do to add or to move things around so they flow more freely energetically. Water signs. Water signs, I see you all taking this as a year of solitude. You all are not you're going to be a little bit more quiet. You're not going to be as accessible to people, and that's actually a beautiful thing for you because you all have spent 2022 on pouring into everything and everyone else. You all are tired, emotionally and romantically, especially. Y'all are tired. Okay, so that's Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. Y'all are exhausted. You have poured into everybody. I would, you know what I said up until like 2022 until now. I'm gonna say 2018 until now. Y'all have been like scraping the inside of a chalice to find a drop to pour back into other people before you pour back into yourselves. This is going to be a beautiful year where you sit back, you take trips. I see a lot of travel for you all, Cancer especially. There's travel, some near water, actually most near water, but I can't say I don't see mountains here too. Um, I'm also seeing where you all, water signs, you all need to like, this is a great year for you to focus on your health, your physiological health. Because I feel like your physiological health is playing a huge role into your emotional health or lack thereof. I keep seeing where somebody needs to focus on fortification of their gut, right? So a prebiotic, probiotic kind of combination and inoculating so reintroducing the right um, elements into your gut so they can heal. Because we have this thing called a gut-brain axis. So if your gut is thrown off, then your brain is thrown off. And one of the ways that you know that is if you're noticing insomnia, if you're noticing frequent mood swings, if you're noticing that your skin is a bit more dry and scaly, or you're breaking out in rashes or hives. Any food sensitivities you typically wouldn't have if you're more flatulent, meaning you fart a lot. Those are just some of the things, right? If you're noticing any issues with like sleep cycles being thrown off, right? But throwing that out there, not a recommendation, just putting that out there, okay? But I'm seeing very clearly where gut health for y'all is important, really. So take this time to really do that and soothe that area of you. Hold on, I'm getting a message for Scorpio. Scorpio, I feel like there are people that you have wronged knowingly and or unknowingly. I think that you wronged them because you had the wrong idea of these people. I think that you were misinformed by a source that maybe you trusted for quite some time about people. In particular, signs that I feel I'm picking up on Scorpio are more Aquarius, Gemini, Capricorn, and Leo, and Libra. Those are the signs that are coming through that I feel like you have kind of misjudged, and there's kind of been like this tension or a feud or a definitely a lack of communication. But I feel that whether you realize this or not, these are going to be some people who are going to be key people to keep in your corner or to have in your corner once we get to like 2026 and beyond, 2026 to 2028. and 2030 are the 3 year points that keep popping up around that. I'm not saying you got to be best friends with these people, but whatever rift there is, I feel like you do need to sit down and hear them out. And it should be you to extend the olive branch because shots were kind of fired by you. Uh, it's not necessarily that this happened this year, 2023. I just feel like this has been a buildup over time. I feel that the people that you kind of have misinterpreted are actually really good people and actually would love to be in your corner, but they're just kind of like, they're hurt. They're just kind of like, whatever, bro. Like, I've tried, I'm moving on. But these are going to be key people and instrumental people to keep in your corner moving forward, and not from like a standpoint of like, hustling and moving forward and just like making money. Like, I mean, like, you're going to go through some stuff a little bit later down the line. And there's an old saying that the old folks used to say, old black people in my life would always say, which is, baby, you never know where you're going to get your last drink of water. The people that you think are the buttholes or like jerks or just not really quite kind are going to be to you usually are the people that in some instances are the pillars or the rocks for you when times really get hard. I don't know why this is coming through so strongly, Scorpio. I apologize, but this is what they're giving me. Like, you got to be mindful of the company that you keep. This is a time for you to thin the herd, and you really got to focus on, have you truly seen this person as they truly are, or are you being spoon-fed by what somebody else told you? All right. Pisces, pay attention to your dream state. Don't let people make fun of you because they're just like, oh, you're off in la la land. Yeah, you are, because you're the architect. Pisces, like Aquarius in some ways. Aquarius lives like 50 years in the future. Just putting it out there, y'all. But Pisces is so unbothered with this material world because it's at the end of the zodiac technically. So they're just like, I'm already floating over here, right? And then I don't necessarily have to come back over here to the real world. But you're creating the scaffolding for the new version of the world that you're wanting, and starting to dismantle the old world that you're leaving behind. So while you're dreaming and manifesting, don't worry about everybody else and them thinking that you just off floating somewhere. And lastly, my beautiful earth signs. I just heard, I'm all the way up, right? I don't know if y'all remember that song, right? But literally, earth signs are on the rise, baby. Capricorn, I'll start because I'm married to one. If you're watching, hi. Capricorn, hold on, I need to make sure I'm not projecting here. No, I'm not. Okay. The corporate ladder is yours. Whatever you're wanting to do this year, the world is your oyster. Like, I feel that you've proven your stuff and yourself. I feel that I just see you cracking this oyster. Like, last year was the year of you like shucking this oyster and like, right, beginning like it'll open just a little bit. 2024, top of the year, I see the oyster shit, like, or the clamshell just opening up wide, and it's like, how many pearls you want? What color do you want? Like, it's literally just being offered to you. Don't get too overwhelmed with the illusion of choice. The reason I'm saying don't get overwhelmed with the illusion of choice is because, yes, it is a win, but it is not the win, okay? Capricorn, sometimes y'all get a little caught up in that part of you that likes to retire early and get to a finish line and be like, oh, okay, I accomplished that, check. No, keep going. Yes, make a choice as to which pearls you want or don't want. It's okay to walk away from offers too. Just because you've earned them, right, and somebody's offering them to you, if it's not the right fit, don't force yourself into it out of obligation. That's another Capricorn trait. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. So there's that. I do see financial increase for y'all this year though. Significantly so. Like, if you were in the high 5 figures, I see you going into the lower to mid 6-figure range this year. Yeah, that came through very strongly for y'all. If you're a teacher, if you're in corporate America, if you are an entrepreneur, medicine, whatever, across the board, Capricorn, this is a year where you have like, you made it, baby. Good on you. Saturn is rewarding you handsomely for all your stick-to-itiveness because y'all went through it for some years. Okay? Taurus, like I mentioned, nesting is important to y'all. Y'all are looking for a beautiful place to nest, to make it home. Y'all have felt very uncertain and uneasy with your aesthetic for quite some time. And yeah, it's time for y'all to nest. A beautiful place is going to hit you by May. And if you choose to stay where you currently are, beautification for that current space will be completed by then. Virgos, FYI, everyone who touches my head, literally my hair or my psyche, is Virgo. Yes, my hairstylist and my therapist are both Virgos, okay? I talk a lot of stuff about Virgos, but I love Virgos. I trust Virgos. This is a year where you stop analyzing everything. Who knew? Not to say that you're not going to use your good sense, right? You are still going to be, you're not going to be for the nonsense. I mean, that's just a Virgo trait, and I love that about y'all. But this is definitely going to be an opportunity for you all to let your brain cool down, because I just see sparks flying, and y'all just like y'all were shell shocked this year. This is a year for everything to cool down, for you to take a pause, and for you to realize it ain't that serious. Some things just ain't that serious, right? I will tell you all, be mindful of inflammation and inflammatory diets, okay? I do see where you all need to kind of calm down with that. I feel like you all have not been eating the best or eating as you typically would. Virgos are typically very picky about their diets, and Virgo rules the intestine, so they should be. Yeah, be mindful. See that link between the gut and the brain, right? Virgo is all about analysis. Your gut's thrown off, you can't analyze. Okay? So, be very clear with yourself about boundaries versus unnecessary restrictions. Don't go overboard, right? Let's see, anything else for Virgo? Other than get somewhere and sit down and be quiet? No. And not be quiet in the sense of like nobody wants to hear what you have to say. Get quiet so you can find peace within yourself. And so you can get honest with yourself about some things in terms of what you want. Because a lot of the frazzled energy that I'm feeling for y'all was rooted in grasping at straws unnecessarily. If you would have just taken a moment to pause, you wouldn't have needed to grasp at weird straws. Okay? Let me see if there's anything else. I know I mentioned Capricorn having I did Earth, Air, Fire, Water. Yeah. I know I mentioned Capricorn and finances. Let's look at everybody else in finance. If you're wondering what happens when I circle my finger around like this is me actually moving through time. Literally. Okay? The rest of the earth signs, y'all's money is looking right come spring of the year. Work with citrus fruits. So incorporate more lemons, limes, grapefruits, tangerines, things like that, bergamot into your diet, into your tea, into your scent profile, right? Your diet in any way, shape, or form. Anything that you're taking in, think citrus. Citrus is a catalyst, and it works with the solar plexus. It's really good for speeding up something, right? Catalyst speeds something up. So it will help to draw money and resources to you, because money is great, but it's a fickle thing. What you want are resources. All right. Air signs, y'all's money is looking right middle of June, right? It's a steady build up to then, right? But y'all's secret power and potion is gonna be in your social network, right? Even if you're like me and you're very shy, you're still usually pretty known, right? People know you, people trust you, people know your work. Okay, keep that going. So that's Aquarius. Gemini, y'all's money is looking right mid-March. And it's not just because of tax season. I feel like at that point, y'all have actually like gotten a solid like handle on your cap on your savings. There's something around savings for Gemini around that time. All right. Water signs as a whole, I'm seeing y'all's money looking really, really good. It's going to steadily be building, but by November, y'all are rock solid. You're exactly where you want to be. Fire signs. Y'all's money is going to look like this. It's going to feel like you're riding a wave until you hit July. But July is where, because you have been focusing on your art, right? Going back to the drawing board. Once you do that, you're going to start making money off of the very thing that you used to take for granted. Now, I will also say this. You will have complete agency over the amount that you sell, how the frequency in which you produce your art. You have agency. I'm not seeing this having to be this thing where you have to like mass produce so that way you can keep up with people who are trying to consume your stuff. I am literally seeing you set the pace and people respecting the pace and your time because you're curating your voice as an artist moving forward, okay? And I just heard new artists, like especially if you're a new artist, perfect time for you to curate your voice. Not talking about new in terms of being young. I'm talking about like even people who are like older, who are like, you know what, I think I want to try this for the first time, right? That's singing, that's, I keep going back to this collage artist that I know, that I hope is watching, right? New in the sense of people have yet to really truly discover your voice and you're developing it. So that's the fun thing, is that you get to show, you have agency over what you choose to show. All right. So for the scrying section, I hope you enjoyed that, because most people don't typically see me scry unless I am offering that as a service. 101. I'm going to use the Starman Tarot deck, and the decks that I use for clarification purposes, I will put those links when I post in the descriptions below as well if you're interested. This deck in particular is one of my faves. It has a lot of Aquarian energy, and it is modeled after David Bowie, so it's really, really dope. See, I love the imagery. Okay, so this is the Six of Pentacles and the Prince of Swords, right? This is for fire signs. I keep hearing Aries in particular. Leo too, but all of y'all, but for whatever reason, Aries, they are picking on y'all today. Enough of the self-doubt. Like this is not a time in your life where you're going to entertain anybody who causes you to doubt yourself, throw you off your path. You're done. I just see y'all being like, out of here. I would not be surprised if I don't hear Aries and other fire signs in particular being like, I'm out. Like literally walking into work and being like, I trust me. I'm taking a chance on me and my art. Or I'm taking a chance on this creative idea that I have. Like y'all are not having it. Fire signs of 2024 are just like, it's me or nothing. It's me or bust. I'm out. But with the Six of Pentacles here, it lets me know that you're going to be diligent enough to be able to bring in what you need. Like this card in particular, you see how this entity is rooted and they've got all the abundance coming down on them, right? And even though people are afraid of serpents, this is really talking about healing energy, right? Because you're rooted in your purpose, everything you need is going to come toward you, and everything you don't need is falling off. All right. And you will have who you need to help you along the way as well. Let's see. Threads of Fate. Oracle deck has something to share. The Seeker, right? So you see cowrie shells and teeth here, right? Which is a form, it's a divinatory tool that's used in different cultures, right? So in doing that, it's having your ancestors speak to you, right? So as you are walking your path, trust your spirit team, your ancestors, ascended masters that you work with. Trust everybody that's in the 5D and beyond that has been walking with you thus far to have your back and to help order your steps in order for you to move forward and to hone in and grow your craft, right? This is about growth. All right, fire signs. Air signs. Ooh. I like this. 6 of Cups. That's too many cards. These cards are long, so I have to shuffle these like this. I apologize. Okay. And the 8 of Pentacles. All right, I'm with this. The reason I'm with this, these 2 cards let me know 2 things. 6 of Cups is a card that has a lot to do with new friends, sweet love, innocence, coming into knowing and harmony with one's inner child. And the 8 of Pentacles is all about hard work, but knowing how to utilize the resources that you have in order to be boss level status, okay? But 6 of Cups also has to do with soulmates. Air signs, this is going to be a year where you really meet your spirit tribe. And your soul tribe is going to come, your spirit and your soul tribe, right? Your spirit tribe, I believe, is your tribe that's in the spirit, right? That's helping you. And that changes out from time to time, right? You may have guides that have walked with you from your childhood, and then you have other guides that, you know, are only meant to get you through a particular moment or season in life, and then they swap out with somebody else, okay? But on a 3D level, you got some soulmate energy coming in. I feel heavy potential for romantic aspects of this, but I will also note that soulmate does not always mean romantic, right? My son and I are soulmates, right? My spouse and I are soulmates. My grandmother and I, definitely soulmates. Don't have a romantic connection to 2 out of those 3. However, we're definitely soulmates. We came into this world and had something to share with one another, and definitely chose to be in each other's lives, right? You got your team coming in where you're finally like, oh my goodness, where have y'all been this whole time? And they're going to help you get these resources amassed and be like, oh, it's time for you to go to the next level. Come on, fam, let's go. And these are not people, air signs, I feel like you all have been really fighting this thing of needing people who champion you as much as you ride hard for the people that you love and care about. And you're finally getting those people. No questions asked. They're not looking for a handout. It's not quid pro quo. It's just, oh, this is what you're doing? Where have you been hiding? Say less. Come on. Let me introduce you to this person. Let me introduce you to this person. Hey, did you hear about this grant? Hey, have you heard about this bit of funding? Hey, did you know that you could go with da-da-da-da-da? And it's just, you're building community and network, and they're teaching you how to manage the resources that you get. Because the one thing I am seeing is where air signs, you've had a tendency of being really great at having things come to you, but managing it has been difficult, or you know enough of yourself to know that you need somebody else to manage it for you, but you haven't had the ability to fund that, right? So maybe you need an accountant or something. Everything you need coming into place so that way you can continue to grow and thrive. This is going to be your year to finally be able to work smarter and not have to work harder, because foundations and systems have been in place. Let's see. The Personal Power Oracle deck wants to speak to you for your Oracle card. Not that card apparently. Well, you said you had something to say. Yes, my decks talk to me. Okay, so thank you. I am knowledge. All right. What did I just say? I was just talking about how at the end of the day, y'all, these people are going to put you on. And not just put you on in the sense of like introduce you to these people, right? They will introduce you to these people, but you will be ready. Because prior to them making the introductions, they helped you make sure that you were ready to embrace the opportunity and not be afraid of the opportunity, not to feel that it was insurmountable, right? They're going to help you lay the scaffolding and the infrastructure, so that way the recipes that you've been cooking, you got the pots, you got the pans, you got the top of the line stove, you've got, a small team to help you cook it up, right? You've got everything that you need, so that way they're like, okay, cool, so we're going to introduce you to this person, and you're not even thinking about it as being a pitch or thinking about it as being this big thing. You're just like, oh, I'm just going to sit down and talk to this person, as it should be, as opposed to when you didn't have everything, it's, well, wait, how can I do this? I don't know how to. Okay, so there you go, air signs. Water signs. Ooh, that came out quickly. the Devil inverted, and the Tower inverted. Woo! Going back to what I said about y'all sitting down being quiet, y'all are gonna this is a year of slowly dismantling and peeling back your own inner onion, the layers of your own inner onion, right? There's gonna be a lot of tears in 2024, but good tears. There's been so much that y'all have been holding back emotionally that you don't see how much it has tripped you up in other ways. You're gonna see how you haven't been present for yourself, how you're where you've been codependent or allowed other people to become codependent upon you in ways that are completely unhealthy, and where you may have bought into that. And that's not me picking at you. That's me saying that codependency is a two-way street, but when one person wakes up, that's when it ends, right? So you're going to be the person to end those cycles. I see a lot of people breaking the vices that they may have had. So this is a year where people are getting clean and sober. If you're at water sign, this is going to be a year to focus on sobriety. Congratulations. I applaud you for that. That's not an easy step, so good job. This is going to be a year of therapy, physical therapy, but definitely emotional therapy. This is also an opportunity while you're navigating that, when things kind of get a little bit more clear, it'll be a great time for you to step into your own spiritual gifts too, because you're highly intuitive. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying about the people that, for Scorpio in particular, but I'll extend this to all the other water signs too. If you've noticed that there have been some people you've kind of like shirked or like pushed away, or just kind of been like, I don't want to be bothered with them, or like you've heard something on the grapevine and you've kind of like held somebody to that standard without really knowing them. I feel like whoever this person is that you were kind of like this toward is going to be the person who's actually going to be able to help you strengthen you. And it's because, one, iron sharpens iron. I feel like because you've kind of repelled this person, and that subsequently they kind of repelled you, that mirroring is going to be something that is going to give you pause and make you realize, okay, wait, maybe I am the issue here, or like maybe I need to focus a little bit more on how I communicate, or how I allow myself to show up for people. Am I typically a person who's easily swayed, right? I also feel like this person is not a mean person. I feel like this person is just a very resolute, and it's not a person, it's an institution, but whatever it is, they're just very direct, right? It's just very like, it's not black or white, but just, you're not swaying them. Like this is a pillar. And this pillar is going to teach you how to stand on your own too. They're not going to be a yes person. They're not going to be a person who's just going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what you need to hear while offering a solution simultaneously. Okay? But I just keep hearing, like, I feel like you've had this person all wrong for so long, and you never realized that this is the biggest asset you could have had in your life. I will also tell you, slow progress does not denote no progress. So there's going to be a part of you that's like, when is this pain going to be over? When am I going to be done? I thought I did all this healing work already. Why am I still here? Give it time. You packed all this stuff in for years. It's going to take time for you to like really get through the layers and to truly be able to see and rediscover yourself. Okay? Let me get this. No, not the personal power. Okay, so we're going to go back to Threads of Fate for your Oracle card. Woo! Y'all got 3. Aren't y'all fancy? Manifest, Self-Love Inverted, and the Outlaw. Move my fingers. There we go. So, one of the beautiful things about water is that water knows how to carve its own path. Water knows how to direct. Water knows how to move. It knows how to be soft, gentle, but it also knows how to be a force that can crush. As you're manifesting, make sure that you're manifesting from a space of healing and not manifesting from a space of revenge. Just saying. And I think lastly, earth signs. Because y'all are fancy. Y'all want to go for my Tarot Mystique. I got this deck this year as a gift to myself for turning 40. So y'all got 2 cards. You got the 2 of Wands and the Fool inverted. Okay? So the world is yours. I don't see y'all making foolish mistakes. I don't see y'all being for people who are trying to get you to take reckless chances. I see a lot of calculated, I don't want to say calculated strategies. Right? I see a lot of strategies. I don't see you taking any chances on dismantling the hard work that you have already put in. And I don't see you allowing anything or anyone to stand between you and your focus. If earth signs, if you've worked too hard to get this far when it comes to your success. And I don't get the sense though that you completely value what you've cultivated for yourself, but you will this year. You're going to truly see it. Like, you're not just going to focus on the achievement of the material gains. I see you actually reveling in the emotional contentment that you have with family and friends. By family, I mean family of choosing or family by birth. I see you actually having contentment and enjoyment in the freedom that you have actually created for yourself. I see this being an opportunity for you to become a little bit more vulnerable in the love sphere. If that's self-love for you, romantic love, whatever, but love and being a little bit more vulnerable in how you display it for those near and dear to you. That's going to be a huge thing for you, especially for Virgo, for whatever reason. Let's see. Threads of Fate. There we go. Y'all got 2 too as well. The Void and Shadow. So the Void has everything to do with how you choose to creating from the void, cosmic opening, right? A portal, right? If you look at it. But anything that comes in or comes out of a portal can also go into a portal, right? So it's a 2-way door. If we're looking at it from that kind of a mathematical standpoint. But you've really done a lot of healing around darker aspects of your psyche. You've allowed yourself to kind of go there and to see yourself and to let people mirror back to you their experiences of you. And finally realizing it's not from a space of being domineering or constantly being critical of you. It's from a standpoint of, I love you enough to tell you that this is not only just hurting me being on the receiving end of it, this is hurting you too. And once you started to really do that deep dive and you allowed yourself a certain amount of vulnerability, because that's also what both of these cards call for, right? You started realizing, oh, okay, this is what they were saying. Well, how can I show up better for myself? How can I show up better for somebody else? In what ways have I been showing up? And it hasn't been in my greatest good, right? How have I been pouring out and pouring into everyone else in ways that drain the crap out of me, right? So that being said, 2024 is a year where you need to remember, I just heard Rafiki say, remember who you are, right? Or Simba, not Simba, Mufasa, there we go, right? But also, Rafiki did say it too. Anyway, you got to remember who you are in 2024. It's not just about the ego boost of, do you know who I am? No, it's really more about, okay, I've already proven that I can rewrite the script in a way that's healthier and happier and safer for everybody involved. I don't need to keep rehashing this with you. I don't need to keep proving myself to you, right? If I'm going to prove myself to anyone, it's going to be to me. Just make sure that you're giving your ego healthy outlets to pour into, and that you're not allowing it to take over and creep in every now and then and rear its ugly head and dismantle all of your hard work, because that would be your undoing. All right. I think I mentioned health and wellness for just about everybody. I have no idea why they're being that loud today. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, are there any other questions that I didn't get to? I'm trying to see if this allows me to see. I'm doing this on my phone, y'all, so I apologize if it's not allowing me to see y'all's comments, if y'all are commenting or anything. But just saying, at the end of the day, if there are any questions that y'all have and I'm not answering them now, feel free to drop them in the comments below, and I'm happy to give you a quick blurb. If you would like to get a personal reading with me, all links are in the description, so feel free to do so. 2024 is going to be a really dope year, y'all. It's going to feel a little scary, a little topsy-turvy. I'm not going to lie. Top of the year, there are going to be some moments where you're like, this broad is crazy. I don't know why she's being all optimistic about this reading, because this is what it's looking like for me. Lean into the lessons that you learned in 2023. Allow yourself to go there. Allow yourself to be present. Trust what you've learned about yourself and trust what you are experiencing in the moment. That's going to help see you through. Okay? Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I was really nervous about doing this, but this was actually a lot of fun. If you think that this might be something that you'd like to join me for, maybe monthly, drop a comment in below and let me know. And a thumbs up. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Consider doing so. That would be wonderful. Yeah. All right. Outside of that, I'm going to hop off so I can go home and clean up my stuff and start cooking. Keep your gazes forward. Thank you so much for rocking with me again. See you in 2024.